Welcome back to Adobe InDesign CC. In this tutorial we're going to explore some of the transform tools in InDesign. So I have this image here and it has this frame set up here. So if I select the black arrow and grab a corner here, as I drag inwards you'll see the image maintains its position, right? Because I'm basically manipulating the frame here, not the image itself on the inside. There is a hotkey if you want to actually drag the image inwards, and that is the control or command key. But what will happen is as you drag it in, you can squish squash it, right? So I can do that. So I'm going to undo a couple of times to get it back to here. If you want to maintain proportions while you're doing this, you hold down the control and shift key or command and shift key on a Mac, and basically allows you to do that. Now there are specific tools that allow you to do this on the fly without having to know those hotkeys. They are right here, and they are the transform tools. So the free transform tool, as I grab a corner, what happens? I'm able to reduce the size, but I'm also able to squish squash. So that's like holding down the control or the command key. So I'm going to undo that a couple of times. The next one, if I hold down the mouse and go down to the scale tool, I'm skipping the rotate right now. As I grab the scale and I click on a point and drag inwards, it basically will scale it in, and any direction I want, basically scales inwards. However, if I undo that a couple times, if I scale in while holding down the shift, I maintain those proportions. Okay, so you can use that tool to do that with. The free transform kind of does everything. It kind of does scale and rotate at the same time. So we didn't talk about the rotate tool, but I just wanted to show with the free transform tool, if you move your cursor out anywhere and click and drag, you essentially can rotate the image here. Currently, if you look up in the options, it's rotating from the top left corner here. This little widget tells us where it's rotating. So if we actually grab the rotate tool and then click and drag, you'll notice it's rotating from this pivot here. We can change that by clicking in the center here, and now it'll rotate directly in the center. Okay. The next one is the shear tool, and the shear, if we grab a corner, it basically shears it, kind of distorts it quite a bit. It's like slicing it into some sort of wacky, not even real perspective, but actually, shearing it, like squishing it into its own little space. So if I tilt it just slightly, you can kind of see it's like moving the card in kind of a 3D image in a way. The other thing you can do is you can grab the white arrow tool, and the white arrow tool will act kind of the same. You can click on individual points and manipulate them just like the black arrow, but then you can click on them and you should be able to angle inwards a little bit. If you click on it and then drag inwards, let's see, doesn't seem to be working right. Oh, there we go. You have to like click and then double click sometimes with the points, but now we can manipulate this frame and angle the photo in a weird way. And so it's kind of like the white arrow in Illustrator that works with the vertex points. Basically skews everything any way you want. So again, I'll undo all that stuff. Just hitting Control Z several times. So all those things are tools that you can kind of try out and see if you like. Typically what I use is I just use the black arrow a lot of times, and then hold that hotkey of Control Shift to drag inwards to scale, and then basically you get it that way. One thing I want you to notice is if we grab the corner and hold Shift, you'll see in here that it shows the width and height reduction here, but also shows the image is 100%. So if we hold Control and Shift and grab it, you'll see the image is actually scaled down, but then it drops to 100%. This is like the new scale here. If we actually double click on the image, it sort of scales down, and if we double click, it shows the actual percentage in the image. So right now it's actually only 78% here. So if we click in here and choose 100%, you would see the full image here, full size. But I do that by hitting Control Z or Command Z. You can rotate up here too. There's rotates to the 90 degree, And again, that is based upon the orientation of the pivot here. So if I click on the bottom left corner here and do the rotation, you'll see it rotates around that so you get it back to where you were before. Let's see, any other options up here? I mean, those are the main ones. There is the skewing options right here. You can do the rotation there, but here is the skew, which you can see here as it skews backwards, so you can do it by increments there. So you have sort of the similar options up here as you would in the tool palette here. So have fun and enjoy transforming your images. Again, typically I just grab the corner of the main transform and hold Control Shift or Command Shift on a Mac. And again, really good piece of advice with bitmap images that are created in Photoshop. Make sure that you scale down, not up. Otherwise, you'll have issues with resolution. Of course, if it's Illustrator, vector type files, scaling up is not an issue. So until next time, see you soon in Adobe InDesign. Cheers!